Welcome to another episode of Candid Moments. My guest today, this is a kind of last minute, but so special that I'm able to connect with a fellow Toastmaster of mine, who's a speaker, trainer, so much more, Toastmaster extraordinaire. Please help me welcome to the microphone, Miss Sandi Emdin.
Hi, Candace. Thanks for asking
Sandy.
me to be on your show.
This is so great. Thank you. I'm so glad we were able to reconnect. It's been a little bit, right?
Sometimes it just takes a little longer for the stars to connect.
I love that. I see that often in my life. Happy Wednesday, by the way. I'm going to also do the same.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Thank you.
Wisdom
Sandy.
Wednesday.
Pardon?
Wisdom Wednesday.
Oh, I love that. Before I get to hear the fabulous news of Sandy's life, tell me what you are grateful for today.
I am grateful for so many things, but I'm most grateful for my curiosity and that I have a functional brain because I've been doing a lot of online learning. And if you really knew me up until a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have thought that I'd be saying that. But yes, I'm grateful for technology. I'm grateful for health and for Zoom. And I'm so grateful that I'm curious because I'm just learning so much.
That is so great. Wow. I'm grateful too. That word is stamped all over my life. Today was so full, like my brain, like I took like a 30-minute rest earlier, like we're in the evening now. I made a breakthrough today with my coach, and some things that are so simple. Sometimes you just need an outsider's perspective to just say, ... This is what we're going to focus on. Well, why didn't I think of that? That's brilliant. So the work I'm doing on my workshop with my coach, I'm so grateful for. Being able to speak in person with students next week. Oh, I'm so grateful. And the level of pain I'm in today, it's I can handle it. It comes to no surprise when it comes. I'm aware of it, and what I do with how I deal with it. That's my own journey. And that's 3. Yeah. So, and I'm grateful for this interview.
Oh, thank you.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy 2022. Yes.
Right. So what's the big news?
The big news?
You said in your email you had big news.
Well, you know what? When I became a Toastmaster almost 20 years ago, I knew that I had joined an international organization. I never really understood international like I do now.
Okay.
And even though I've, competed and met people at the club level in the area and the division and often the district at conferences over a decade or more, twice a year. Now, because of the pandemic, because we can't meet, we can't connect, we are meeting on Zoom. And what a place to belong to an international organization of leaders to help motivate us, inspire us, and most importantly, to connect us. They're connecting us virtually by Zoom. And last Saturday, I attended not a launch Toastmaster meeting, but a forum where there was a Toastmaster, a DTM. His name is Brom Memon. And he had a vision to create the first online international Toastmasters club. And there were over 100 people at the meeting just to hear his vision. And I was so inspired by him. And there were people from every time zone on the planet. And if you've experienced Toastmasters and all the synergy and energy at a club level, I got to experience that in on the screen, meeting with people from Barcelona, India, Namibia, just so many places.
Oh my gosh.
And I joined the club, and the club reached charter strength in under 12 hours from posting it. So I am now a charter member of an advanced Toastmaster club, the very first advanced Toastmaster club whose focus will be on leadership.
Okay.
So it's going to be called Leadership Speak. And so that's my really exciting news to be communicating literally with people all over the planet through the Toastmaster platform.
That is fabulous, Sandi. Congratulations. High five. Oh, I love it. Hey, remember we were talking in the fall about Mel Robbins' high five habit?
Yes.
Well, my family gives a list of like 3 or 4 things that we want for Christmas, and we pass it along to our people. And I got it for Christmas. It's brilliant. I love Mel Robbins. I want to interview her one day.
I have a hand on my mirror in the bathroom.
Okay.
And I high five it every morning without fail, without even thinking about it.
Oh, that's so badass.
She really explains the science, which I cannot do, but it really truly does work. And it really is, well, I don't know. You'll probably edit this out, but it's
no. I don't edit. This is raw footage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Language. Sometimes it's me that has to watch my language, but yes, it's a family show.
Okay, well, it really has made a difference in my morning.
That's amazing. So how was the contest earlier? You were judging a speech contest?
I am. Another great thing about Toastmasters, and I mean, not that I'm, all excited and raving about the pandemic. I just, Toastmasters has been instrumental in helping me remain positive and remain engaged and remain connected to a community. And for that, I'm really grateful for. Tonight, after this interview, I will be judging a contest for a Toastmaster club in Sault Ste. Marie. And
nice.
there would be no way I would be able to do that if we were really driving and meeting in person. And the opportunities to meet people anywhere and everywhere is just really opened up my eyes and certainly lowered my resistance to wanting to learn about technology, because
that is fantastic. I remember being in the crowd at a meeting where you gave a speech, and this is like, we're talking like probably 2008. And when you had your headset on and you were talking about being a busy mom and being on the phone, and that was it speech number 9? Because it was persuasive. And it had to do with technology and email, and you were not all about that, but you were selling the earpiece because it was for a busy mom. And now look, you've mastered Zoom because you attend Toastmaster meetings all around the world now.
Yes. Well, for a baby boomer, I can remember when and why I got a cell phone. I've moved along with technology. I had a Walkman and then a Discman, and now me too. I had an iPod after that. And what's really cool about Toastmasters is that they are relevant. Not only are they international, but they are relevant. And I don't know, for people who are working or maybe in the retail, whatever groups you belong to or where you work and play, I'll tell you, I have never been more grateful to be a member of Toastmasters, because that community and sense of belonging is what I see and hear a lot of people on the planet right now, and it's a heavy planet. If you're not connected in some way to some place that acknowledges you, helps you grow, gives you, some feedback and some little bit of coaching, and the table topics every week is hilarious. Today
that's why I joined.
I asked our president today, because our theme was team building, is that all she had was 100 tennis balls. And our Toastmaster club of members, what would she do for a team building activity? And she said, well, everybody has a pen. So first of all, everybody would have to decorate their balls. And then we'd go to Bell Park and we would hide them all over and we'd have a scavenger hunt. And I thought, what a great idea. It's like the Easter Bunny, but Toastmasters.
That is so much fun. I love, you know what's behind you, and that is familiar. Right here.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to talk about the Members Making a Difference Award? What year does yours say?
Mine is 2015.
Nice. Mine is 18.
Okay. See, we have so much in common, right?
Oh my gosh. And you were one of my mentors in Toastmasters. And okay, I'll let you can talk about the Members Making a Difference Award. What is it? Why did you receive it? Well, tell me all the feels.
The funny thing about awards is that often people who do things are not doing it to receive an award. And the award is almost like, ooh, pick somebody else. But I got that award mostly because of an after training or after conference pizza and beer at the Buddha with Vitali. If you remember Vitali.
Yeah, he was from the district.
Yes. And we were getting to know each other. And I told him about so many things that I'm involved in with the community and with leadership and volunteering. So he nominated me. And it's one of the awards that I treasure the most, because for me, it signifies so much of who I stand for. It's about volunteering, being of service, lending a hand, all of the Toastmaster values, but being recognized for that. And funny, not really funny, haha, but Members Making a Difference, the acronym is MAD, MAD. And I know how we first met all those years ago with your passion for reducing or eliminating drinking and driving, that you spoke at MAD, MADD, right? Or anyway, it's funny.
But the first one, it wasn't, I did do a lot of work with MAD and Action Sudbury, and the list goes on, and the OPP. Yes. But my first paid, was it my first paid speaking gig? It was at Cecil Facer, the youth detention center in Sudbury, and Patty Taylor she was the social worker, and you connected me with her. And then you and I went for ice cream afterwards. And then years down the road, like I'm talking like even in the fall, when we connected at Bell Park, and we were talking about leadership and where our speaking careers had brought us. Mm-hmm. And you remember where I came from at that speaking engagement, holding up pieces of paper instead of using a PowerPoint. Like, to say that our speaking skills have grown, or we have stepped out of our comfort zone, that's an understatement.
Yes, I'll say, I think the big surprise for me in joining Toastmasters, I didn't join with anything other than give me the quick things I need to learn and let me out of here, because my job changed from being a caseworker and doing home studies and matching up big and little sisters to being the director of the organization, which was to do public speaking and the mayor's proclamation and that kind of thing. Yeah. And I really just joined Toastmasters to get the quick version of what it is that I need to learn fast.
There's no quick version. Because here you are, Sandi Emdin, 20 years later, mm-hmm. because I know what you get out of it. Okay, wait. Well, Basil said it best when he said, Mr. Morrison, when he said, if you get anything out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. If you can get all you can get, yes. And it's true, because when I remember chairing the speech contest at the club and the area level, and you want to talk about leadership? So these days, when people talk about politics and the news, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear it. happy Wednesday to you, and I walk away. I don't want to talk about politics. But what I will say, and I know that the prime minister or nobody in the cabinet is going to watch my show, and it's not negative. But when I look at the leadership of this country, we are Canadians, I shake my head because I am a Toastmaster who has witnessed the speech contest at the world stage. And if you want to learn or see or just be a part of that level of leadership, that will blow your mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I loved chairing those contests. I got so much fulfillment out of it. Like, you get fulfillment out of Toastmasters, right?
Oh my goodness. For me, it's all about the community. There's so many things about it, but the community, I have made lifelong friends. I have friends that I made the first year of Toastmasters that I still have lunch. Well, maybe not since the pandemic, but I mean, I have made lifelong soul sister friends. And it's, I didn't expect that when I joined all those years ago either. But it really is the way that they have structured the organization. Not only do you make friends and meet people and learn and grow and share together in your town or in your club, but then you do that at so many other the area and the division and the district and the conference. And if it weren't for Toastmasters, I would never have met Vitali, for example, and people that live in other cities. But when you're a member of a larger organization, the possibilities and the opportunities are as big as the organization. And
which is so endless.
Yes, I did think of quitting Toastmasters after the pandemic because I really didn't. I do have confidence in lots of areas, but I did not have the confidence in thinking how it would be possible to communicate in this way. Not just the technology, but the communicating, the telling of a moving story. Learning how to communicate this way is very different than communicating in person. And so once again, because we've done it 1,000 times, we begin again, we begin again, we begin again.
Right. But you learn to evolve. That's such a great quality that us humans have, is the ability to evolve.
Yeah,
And
well, I think
you remember when Toastmasters had rebranded? I think they did twice during the 12 and a half years that I was a member. But when they rebranded, and then all of a sudden when the educational program had rebranded, and we thought
it wasn't a rebrand. They changed the education system, and they put everything online, and they gave it a few years to grandfather people in. But still, and I was almost one of the statistics, many Toastmasters left the organization for fear and uncertainty and not having a comfort level with technology. And I was one of those people.
I remember when Pathways came in, and I remember having a conversation with you outside of the meeting, and there were some words shared about how we felt about that program.
Well, I've changed my tune since then. You'll be happy to know.
Oh, I'm so glad. So yeah. I'm on, I don't know what kind of system you would call that, but I'm an advanced communicators silver. Do they still have those? No, the levels are different.
No, so the the education system now, the one that you and I started with, is now referred to as the legacy program. And they gave it a few years, 3 to 5 years, to get everybody on board and made some timelines. And
interesting. I think that is perfect segue. Sandi, Toastmasters is your legacy.
It is my legacy.
Right.
It changes. It has changed and continues to change everything in my world.
Wow. So what do you still want me to come to that? It would be virtually. You wanted to ask me questions, and you wanted me to be a highlight speaker for one of the club. Was it noon hour?
Yes, I would love. I actually only belong to the Noon Hour Club. I'm my home club. I haven't belonged to for a few years since they realigned the districts and the areas. But now I just joined a week ago the Advanced Club.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you and I come from the Greater Sudbury Speakers Toastmaster Club on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And you and I also had the pleasure of working on the executive together, and we both chartered the Noon Hour Club in Sudbury. Was that in 06, 07?
12. Sorry, 2012.
2012.
Yes,
Okay.
and now it's 2022. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. And mostly because we are only able to meet on Zoom, I had the idea that we would celebrate the whole year. I generally celebrate my birthday, pandemic or non-pandemic, for the month of March.
Right.
And I thought, what a great way to celebrate our 10th anniversary, because a lot of clubs did not make it through the pandemic. And we were very lucky, like more clubs than ever folded or suspended or put on hold. Our membership went from 27 members to 4.
Wow. So when I'm talking about leadership and what's involved in the executive, when you're talking about the vice president of membership, well, how do you do the vice president of public relations during a pandemic and to promote your meetings on Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, again, I want to say that the beauty of belonging to an international organization like Toastmasters is it really is about adapting, and how quick can you adapt. Change is inevitable. Some of us cry and curl up into a ball and close the curtains and hope it goes away. Personally, I was planning to wait out the pandemic or the virus, whatever.
Okay, but it's still happening. Yeah.
And just kind of thought, well, I'll just wait because it's not going to last very long. But then it turned into 2 years, and it's just been maybe the last 6 months that I really, got myself off the chair, put my sneakers on, started to stop waiting. I guess I stopped waiting and I got back on the bus, and it was truly Toastmasters that helped me do that, because there is a really great community in the international with Toastmasters. But at our weekly clubs, our weekly meetings at the Noon Hour Club, we have a member that's in Florida. She brings members from Florida that she met around the pool. They join our Toastmasters Club. Lisa Lounsbury, who is also a charter member, spent the winter in Costa Rica. She zoomed in from Costa Rica.
Oh, amazing. I see all her posts online. That's awesome. She was a charter member as well.
Yes, she was.
I remember our group photo that we took.
Well, because we're celebrating 10 years. Yeah. Well, Lynn kicked us off last week by giving us a feature speech on success habits.
Okay.
And I think that was this month in February. That was a week ago. Who knows what day or month it is anymore.
Remember our message there this morning? It was just kind of got away from, was it this morning or yesterday? See, I don't even remember.
It's hard to keep track of the days.
It is. Wow. So how many meetings did you attend today?
Today, I had a really interesting meeting with someone from the YMCA. And her name is Alicia Weber, and she is the volunteer coordinator, and she also works in immigrant services. And what's brilliant, I just met her and I just feel so connected to her. She's doing such great work. She has understood that the whole mission of the YMCA is about wellness and well-being and inclusion. But all of the staff and volunteers have been working through the pandemic. They need the same thing as the people that they're providing it for. Like, what about the people who are service workers? And so she created this monthly wellness workshop, and she's just inviting different speakers every month, and the staff are attending and really liking it. And the speakers are giving them ideas for meditation, breathing, sleeping, nutrition, little habits. So I am going to be a speaker in May with them to bring to life 3 small words and how that can help change negative thinking to positive thinking. So I get a chance to bring that back to life. And
that's fantastic.
Since I joined Toastmasters, we've always met at the YMCA at the Parkside Center. And I have made some dabbling attempts at engaging or enrolling their staff and volunteers, because I only thought, we're all in the same building, why don't we all play together?
Right.
And, it takes a few years sometimes for my ideas to manifest, but I'm so excited that we met, and I just see a future of collaboration and getting more YMCA, both volunteers and staff, to become Toastmasters, because we all have the same mission about making the planet and the lives of others better. So what a great fit, YMCA and Toastmasters. Come on.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I'm not surprised that you sought them out, because you're always, anywhere we would go, you would, and it didn't matter if it was our waitress or anywhere, you should join Toastmasters. Come to one of our meetings, and then you would give the pitch to them, and lots of people were interested. You could have been permanently vice president public relations.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you believe in something, it's really easy to pitch it. And anything that I've learned at Toastmasters, I did not learn at school or college or university, and hardly anything that I've learned at Toastmasters that I learn on the job. And that's why I think it's so important. It's something that can change your life, leverage your career. I mean, some people even start evaluating their partners.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about, no, maybe we'll come back.
Okay.
What you learned in Toastmasters. Oh, I should be taking notes.
That's okay.
No, it was a good one too. Right. It will come back to me. Oh, I know that things have changed, not the rebranding, but like the educational system. I don't know if that is the same, because I left around the transition time, but can you recite the mission statement for me, Sandi? And I hope it's not on your desk or anything. Come on, I know you know it.
You know, it's funny, because after all these years, I rarely take on the role. And it has been, one of the many goals I have is to learn to recite the mission statement. And putting me on the spot, I'm not sure, but I will try. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a mutually supportive environment and positive learning environment in which every member has the privilege or opportunity to grow and contribute and foster self-confidence and personal growth.
I love it. You added to it, and I love that version.
Oh man,
that is fantastic. I knew you had it.
I should. I mean, I was at the meeting I was at a Toastmaster meeting today at noon at the YMCA this morning, an online session on how to facilitate online that ended at 5:30, and then you from 6 till almost 7, and then the contest. But this is a very unusual day for me. Even I realize, moving through it, that it's a lot, but it's kind of, I don't mean to equate it to your pain. I equate it to your way of dealing with pain. So I could overwhelm my mind and saying, oh my God, I'm so busy today. How am I going to accomplish all? But instead, I'm being with it and leaning into it. so that I'm not just saying in my head, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, so I'm just saying, wow, this is a great opportunity. Relax, enjoy, lean in.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mhm.
Lean in. So,
Mhm.
okay. How can I relate that to pain? Today,
Well,
I kind of, I do learn how to just be. I kind of lean into it because I know what's going on. I know, and it changes. There's different levels. And when the doctor says, so on the scale of 1 to 10, I'm like, stop right there. It's at a 16. So no, you have no right to ask me from a scale of 1 to 10. Who are you? You know what chronic pain is? This is the chronic pain program, right? I'm going home and I'm having a nap because I'm in pain. But okay, I'm not gonna say that I gave up on that program, but maybe I did. But yeah, maybe I do learn how to lean into it. But yeah, totally off topic. It's all good. I've learned, you know what Toastmasters has taught me? Not to clean my desk, that's for sure. But I'm pretty good at multitasking. And that brings me back to the meetings where we didn't have a full house, but the members who chose to took on not more than 1, 2, 3, 4 roles in one night, maybe 5. Guilty. Be the evaluator, give a speech, be the timer, read the mission statement, evaluate someone in their manual, be someone's mentor, participate in the the table topics, and be the general evaluator. And then some wait, wow, this is bringing me back. And then the general evaluator will kind of say at the end, so and so took on too many roles and neglected to fulfill a few details. But in my life, it has helped me. I went from being a Toastmaster member and using my leadership skills in my community to hosting and producing a live speaking event where all of the details fell on me. I was the chair. I was the team. I also had a team, but it was Toastmasters that helped me and encouraged me. It wouldn't have been possible for me to do that if it wasn't for Toastmasters. And you know exactly what that's all about, right, Sandy? Because I've seen you take on too many roles, but it wasn't too many because you are Toastmaster extraordinaire and you have the awards to prove it.
Well, thank you for that. But I think, like anything, whether it is becoming a better communicator or leader, or learning to play the piano better, or to become a better skier, tennis player, that comes with a lot of things. But the number one thing, it comes with practice.
Yes.
And if you take piano lessons or you want to get better at something and your only contribution is to the 1 hour a week, you're not going to get very far very fast. And with Toastmasters, you can belong to 1 club or 2 or 3. You could actually do the homework, check it out online. So you can get as involved as you want or as little as you want. And
that's fantastic.
I didn't get here by showing up at the meeting and that's it. So,
no, well,
but if I wanted to, if that were my goal, to just kind of, turn the TV off, cut that habit out, force myself to get out, risk table topics. If I wanted to do that, there is lots of learning that goes on by just attending the weekly meeting, but that's not where leaders are made. You would need 100 years to get to this level. It's so much more than the weekly meeting. But I guess my message today is anything that you want to get better at, you need to practice and you need help, because nobody gets anywhere alone. And I didn't get here alone. I had a big posse.
Yes, and that's your tribe.
Yeah.
I read something today. It said, your vibe attracts your tribe.
That's so true.
Right? I know.
How
I
about
didn't say
that?
that. I read it.
Yeah, it's definitely true.
Yeah, it is.
And there's another saying that keeps me, it stays near my consciousness. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose accordingly. And I
Right.
remember a time in my life when I was a complainer, I was a gossiper, I wasn't in the thought leader category, wasn't working on improving myself, thought it was my employer's job, that kind of thing. And boy, oh boy, all these years later, when you realize you truly can create the life you want, but it takes practice. And if you can commit to the practice, that's I feel like I just am full of quotes tonight. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first
First,
step.
yeah.
The first step.
Oh, I
So
love it. I'm
yeah.
sorry for my little rant there earlier. It reminded me of my session with my coach today, and he said something about being a 5-year-old on a sugar high, and I laughed so hard because I had like that is how much energy I've had today, and this evening, and obviously I'm still bouncing off the walls, but that's a good thing because I'm preparing for something where hey, I need to put myself in check. No, you're not a 5-year-old on a sugar high. You just dial it back. Just
I think I'm going to write that down because, I live in 3 small world strategies and I like that one. Dial it back.
oh,
That'll be good. A good one for me. Dial it back. Ooh.
sometimes we just have to put ourselves into check, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
we've been talking about like these big leadership strives and the next steps that we'll take in our career that have to do with communication and leadership. Sandi Emdin, is there a book in you? Or
Oh,
at
there's
least
a book in everybody. Come on. There's a book in everybody, at least one.
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah. Yeah. Is that one of your to-dos? Is that a dream?
It really is not.
Okay. What's your
But
dream?
the dream for me is to learn what I've been doing for 20 years and loving it, learn how to do that online. And that's what I'm learning. That consumes my day all the time, learning about how to be better online. So just as Candace, when you communicate, you have to know your audience, you have to know how much time you're speaking, how many people, where can I speak from? There's so much. It's the art of communicating and speaking.
Right.
Well, I have spent the last 6 months relearning everything that I learned about communication and leadership and connection and engagement and facilitating. I've been learning how to adapt everything that I knew to online learning. And even though it's kind of like sewing, there's a lot of work up front. So I'm still in the a lot of work up front zone. But when
Okay.
I'm ready to launch, I'll be able to launch with all the pieces in place because I'm taking that time to learn the pieces, who I am and who I was as a trainer. I'm very engaging. I'm very animated. I work with props, not too much technology. Well, I have been learning how to do that online, and it's cost a lot of money and taken a lot of time.
Oh
But,
wow.
but I'm ready. I'm getting ready to learn how to communicate as effectively online as in person. And I'm not talking about keynote speaking. I'm really talking more about preparing and recording learning modules, doing webinars, doing
Beautiful.
interactive live kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And my target, the people I want to help the most are the people that are working in frontline work. So that's my dream.
Oh, good for you, Sandi. Oh, that's fabulous. So many people can learn from the techniques that you've been mastering all these years.
Thank you. Well,
It's
it's not just Toastmasters. Toastmasters started the momentum and helped sustain the momentum. But I've also been privileged with 10 years of percent of my time focused on finding out who Sandi is and what are the best ways to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And now that I know that, I know that I can help people who maybe are experiencing some of the things. Maybe they didn't fall from such a high ledge as I did, but
Okay.
I know that I can help other people put themselves back together again.
Okay. So is that a keynote? Is that a workshop? What are you facilitating? Be specific here.
Um, well, I will be creating several different things and I'll be collaborating with other people. But one of the things that I'm working with my good friend and colleague, she's a psychotherapist, is Lise LeBlanc. And she has created an online course, all the content on stress and how to
Is
reduce your stress. And I'm going to work with her and co-facilitate those online sessions. Both of
beautiful.
us are really interested in working with women, especially women entrepreneurs or women in leadership roles,
Yeah.
women who are trying to do everything from manage a family and a relationship and a house and a camp and 3 kids and piano lessons and aging parents. Those women, that's who we would like to work with, because sometimes those women, and Lisa and I have come from that story, we want to do as much as we can for everybody else and end up burning out ourselves. So if we can help one burnout.
She talked about that on the Mo Monday stage. Were you at that show?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Wasn't that fantastic? I'm going to interview her probably next week.
That's great.
Yeah.
Lisa and I are connected weekly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes, I traveled to the Grand Canyon with her.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
There was a few of you.
Well, Lise was the guide. Lise has hiked the Grand Canyon 6 or 7 times.
Wow.
She's also hiked Switzerland, the Camino, the West Coast Trail. She is a hiker. She goes into deep thinking, meditative, reflective mode while she's doing these amazing hikes. And I got to go on one with her to the Grand Canyon. And yeah, she's probably one of the very few friends or colleagues that I have who isn't a Toastmaster. That's interesting.
Who isn't?
Is not a Toastmaster.
Do you try to convert her into, like, recruit her, not convert, recruit her into joining?
No, the thing that she's a writer, right, and she has written 6 books. She's got a ton of content.
I know, that's what we're going to talk about on the show when I interview her. I'm so excited. Who was I talking to? She told me about all the books. It was somebody who was on the show. Who was that? Please. It escapes me right now. It will come to me. But somebody told me, maybe it was somebody who she helped with the books, or no, she didn't help her. Maybe it was another author. I forget.
Well, you're going to find out real soon because you're going to interview her.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we were supposed to go on a trip last month.
Okay.
Back to Arizona. And we were going to be travel buddies, and we were going for a retreat and also to spend a few days together writing and planning, and because we do have a pending project about to launch sometime soon, and it got canceled because of COVID, so we didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. So are you allowed to talk about the project or no?
Well, the project I've alluded to a little bit, it will be online. It'll be, Lise prefers me to facilitate and connect and get with the audience. She'll be the wingman, and it's all her material, but I'm very familiar with it. So we're going to test it. It's going to be, I think, a closed group, 7 weeks, women only. I don't have a whole lot of details.
Course?
Yes, 7 weeks.
Fantastic. I'd love to get the information about it. Send me an email when it's up.
Okay.
I might be interested.
All right. Yeah.
Can I afford you?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For me, it's an exciting time because I basically was a bear in hibernation for 2 years of COVID. And, I didn't volunteer anymore, that whole mask thing and the scary part about immune systems and what have you. So, but the gift in that was I did a lot of Toastmasters, And I think I'm ready now for a new chapter, but not a book. I think if I have
No.
a book, the book, if I have, will be like a photography book with some quotes, and it'll be a small gift book that I would probably include in a keynote or some training.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but it certainly does not even on my top 100 list of adventures in the near
No,
future.
it costs so much money to do, and it's not, like, I'm not saying it's not worth it. If it's in you, then it's in you, and you will complete that project.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I see bigger things for you.
Well, I've been dreaming of creating an event, a signature event for 25 years now. And I feel like I'm getting closer all the time on one hand. And on the other hand, will I quit talking about it and just make it happen?
I remember the venue too. It's on Regent. You can see it from your balcony.
Well, you know what? I'm realizing now that was a very small dream, because now that the world is such a small place and it's a global, by a click of a button, I can have anybody in the world in front of my screen.
Yeah.
I'm rethinking. That's a small venue. It's only 1,600, I think, is the seating capacity.
Go big or stay home. Oh, we can still stay home and go big. I love it.
Go big and stay home.
Yes. Because look at Roger. He's speaking all over the world, and it's via Zoom.
Yes, everybody's speaking all over the world. It's fantastic.
Isn't
My
that
brain is
great?
full. Yes.
That's fantastic. And it's such a great way to spend our time, because you cannot put a price on time. So FYI, that's one of my love languages. So you are speaking my love language today by spending time with me today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you too. Honestly, I feel like we're in the same room. Like, I feel like I could just reach out and hug you. And when the pandemic started, I didn't understand how we'd ever be able to communicate, face to face. This is a better communication connection than meeting somewhere with a mask on and a parka and a hat and glasses.
Right? No. Oh, spring is coming though. We're gonna come out of hibernation soon. What are you gonna do when spring happens? Are you still walking regularly?
You know what? That minus 100 stretch, and I kind of got older, lazier, and I learned how to sign up for things online. So this past month, for the very first time, I signed up for classes with Don Condon at Connected Living, who I've been practicing with for over 20 years, off and on, mostly off. But now I have converted my office into yoga studio and office, and I have all my yoga things in a cabinet, my mat and blanket and bolster and tie. And not only can I go to the classes, but if I miss the class, I can watch the recording of the class at a later date. So that has really been instrumental in shifting my energy and sleep and everything, because most of the classes that I take, I mean, I don't aim high. Another thing Basil Morrison told me, aim low, you won't be disappointed. So when I learned how to connect online, Dawn was giving me all these classes, and I said, Dawn, I have not practiced yoga for 2 years since the pandemic started.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not where I was 2 years ago. So I want to sign up for all the senior stuff. And
are you a senior yet?
No, but I love seniors yoga, and I love chair yoga. So chair yoga started out to be something for people who had maybe limited mobility, or they were recovering from a hip or knee surgery or strokes or anything like that.
Oh, they sit on the chair?
Yes, the entire time. But now chair yoga, I think, is for everybody on the planet, because everybody on the planet is in a chair or on the couch. We're sitting on the couch, we're sitting at the table, we're sitting at our computers. And so chair yoga, it's like they show you how to like stretch your neck, take time, breathe, stretch your neck the other way, do some rolls, shoulder rolls, reach up to the sky. Like it's
that's fantastic. I could use some yoga today too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some maybe a little bit later because
Nice.
my studio never shuts down. It's here all the time, right?
That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
when I think of three small words,
Mhm.
because I was just thinking about a title, but it will come to me. I have a book somewhere by Ryan Avery. Do you remember when he won?
Yes.
It was Speaker Leader Champion.
Ah.
Speaker Leader Champion. Yeah. Um, what would be your Sandy's three small words? Would it be speaker, leader, visionary? What would it be?
Oh, you mean three words to describe me or?
Yeah, or this interview.
Well, I would say that for many, many decades, when you start joining the dots backwards, I've had this message in me. It's been who I've been all along. And it's about making connections. So at one point, I remember when we were creating superhero characters, a few of us, I would say, I am the connector because I would connect people or connect experiences. So for me, connection is really important. So I would say connection, engagement, and meaning. So what I'm learning is that whether we connect at a campfire or a conference in person or on Zoom from the same country or time zone, what I give and receive and what really floats my boat, gets me excited is connecting. And I've learned how you can connect, quickly with meaning. And it's just all about meaning. Is there anything else that matters? I really don't know.
No, no. Oh, honey, you have answered my question and then some. You are, you're definitely such a beautiful example of what Toastmasters can do for somebody's spirit, for their career, for the ability, speaker, leader, champion, meaning, connecting with people. Oh, you are such a Toastmaster, and
Thank
I'm
you.
so grateful to know you and have learned under your leadership and next to you at the meeting.
Yes. Well, I really can't wait till this darn pandemic is over, or at least winter's over, and then we can actually meet in face to face in the park somewhere and have a laugh.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. We'll bring coffee and we'll meet at the park. That'll be great. Oh, Sandy,
For
so
having
this,
me.
pardon?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. Enjoy the rest of, do you have another meeting after this?
I'm going to Toastmasters right now in the Sioux.
Oh yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, enjoy your meeting and let's connect soon, my friend. Sandi Emdin, everybody.
Pleasure.